I need to go on record and say I refuse reincarnation indefinitely, and that's always been the case. I swear my immortal soul on that. I refuse rebirth, and that's always been the case. I like birth. I like actual conception. I don't like rereads. Here's a bird to look at while I rant. So I don't follow any of that other stuff, and I don't have faith in it. I know the original creator had a plan with how nature works and regular conception, and to redo it is arrogance. It's arrogance. So I don't do those things. I just die naturally and see what may come in the spirit world. I don't try to come back to this one over and over again, no matter how long I wait. These other things have different belief structures. I don't share that, and neither do my children. My children are to refuse rebirth and reincarnation. And I said refuse. Now, I don't have any kids to my knowledge, but I do have signs of human trafficking that never got any proper investigation. They didn't even really get looked at the same way, which was weird. I did, however, receive good treatment at a survivor center a year ago, but besides that, there's been little to any type of understanding for my assault or any type of investigation. And they don't ever come to me directly. They do this type of surveillance thing, it feels like, and then I'm hyper paranoid. Instead of just soothing me and being nice to a victim. So, but I have to go on record and say I refuse all that re crap, because that stuff will try that. I refuse to rehi and always have. That is an absolute I swear upon. There are Masonic cults that do fallen Kabbalist magic mixes, and whether you believe it or not, Jews do Kabbalist magic. They believe in magic. They actually believe that crap works. And I do something other than that. I don't like magic. I don't like to make a game or a token out of some token or toke with them and then tick off their life like a game. I'm not vampiric energy-wise like you guys are. And you do that, and I don't like it. You should have left me alone, and I wouldn't have mentioned it. They're like energy vampires. And without them around, you'll have a lot less cancer and a lot less insanity. I can guarantee 100% that the countries that don't have Jewish populations have less insanity, and less of what I said. Which is hard to even remember because I feel like I'm being shot at. Which has been proven. There is an electromagnetic defense manual for New York City's police department, because these things will just cook you from afar if you disagree with them, which is insane. And then the people who were admitting it, they tried to deem as crazy to hide that they were doing it. It is a mess. This has been a mess. So, but that's another reason that I refuse Israel. I refuse Michael, and always have. It feels like I'm getting shot at now. It doesn't calm me down, it cooks me. And then it's hard to react to anything. And either way, I don't want help reacting. This town is insane. It put me on something like Abilify after putting on another antipsychotic, and I'm like, I've never been psychotic. I've never hurt anybody. Never hurt myself or anybody else. And they finally, after a year, admitted that it could be an alliance with the family, which is to protect a possible assaultant or assaulter, abuser, I don't know how I would say it, from whatever could happen if I was believed. So, and he has a very long rap. So they probably figured he'd go away easy. That was the assaulter and all that crap. So this town, I mean, they just write their own rules in Mankey Town, I'll tell you that much. And it's the same freaking town that I'm from. Most of them know them. They don't respect the law. They rewrite it as they see fit. But when you're somebody who needs regular legal action to happen, it's weird in Michigan. It's just weird. And I tried to call the cop numerous times to get a hold of him to get my kit back from my assault. It was impossible. So, short of calling their IA, which I was going to call and get the number for again, but it felt like I was harassing them. And I'm like, it was like 3 days to the deadline. And I couldn't get a hold of him. I called him, but I couldn't get a hold of him. So, but I know they tried to, I don't know, but it wasn't it was supposed to be an agreed upon medication, and every time I said I don't want to take this, she said I wasn't in compliance. So they basically drugged me, and since then it's been hard to read. For a year. Took me a year, and I don't want to take this shit, but it's got me so paranoid that the way the judge phrased it is that if I ever am off the medication, it seems like I'd be right back there. He doesn't know my history. He's going by a psychologist that doesn't like me, that I insulted the first 5 minutes, which was my mistake, by asking her if she was Hindu. Don't ever ask whatever she is if they're Hindu, even if they have a little gold elephant statue on their desk. Don't ask them that, whatever you do. But here they rewrite their own rules. Don't ever come here. And I am trying to save up to leave or to at least establish myself, and they'll strong arm you out with masonry if you try to do different things. You don't want to have anything to do with it. They'll follow you around. They'll gaslight local police about you. They'll gaslight a bunch of crap. And I've already done videos and put them online on how my body looked at certain times. It's a mess. There's a lot of evidence that there's been human trafficking in my life because I haven't had kids and there's signs of gestation. But nobody seems to be able to investigate that part. And I have a white coat phobia, so going to the doctor is ridiculously hard. And at Owasso's hospital, they joke they'd put a different coat on. I'm like, that's not what that means. It means that I'm terrified to be here. If you ask me to pick up a Viper instead of going to the hospital, there's a good chance I'll pick up the Viper. And they just go, oh, well, now we're going to force you on medication. It's like, what the fuck? And then it didn't do anything. It made me crazier. It made it hard to put all my thoughts together. Don't know what they're trying to cover up with me, but I have like a dissociating memory thing, so I wouldn't remember how much they hurt me anyway. It would come out in little bits. Sometimes I even sound like a kid, you'll notice. But I was living my life fine until about 2.5 years ago. And all I remember coincidingly is that my ex-roommate was telling me about Jews having a collective IQ, and all of a sudden him dating someone and being brutal around me. Like he started getting abusive because he was seeing somebody.